because this is the transition where the president-elect, right, throughout the presidential transition period, has continued to sell his junk, right, his self-branded watches and sneakers and Bibles. He put out a new Inauguration Day edition of his special branded Bible. He's still selling boots. Now he's selling Trump boots. And his new crypto, whatever it is, and his commemorative coins and his commemorative guitars. He's selling this stuff while he is the president-elect. Nothing like that has ever happened before. Nothing that classless and tacky has ever happened to the U.S. presidency before. This is the transition where he said at a press conference that it might have been Hezbollah that did the January 6th attack. Really, Hezbollah did it. He also said at that same press conference that he's going to pardon the people who did the January 6th attack. Well, I'm sure Hezbollah will be delighted. This is the transition where he made unprovoked threats to seize territory from three other nations with whom we are allied. And that is, of course, inexplicable to those countries. It's inexplicable to most Americans, but it's also equally very exciting to the dictators of Russia and China, who actually have been either seizing territory from other countries or planning to. And now, whether or not Trump actually follows through on these weird threats, those two dictators will have Trump's words during the transition to throw back at the United States of America if the U.S. ever again bothers to object to big countries like theirs stomping on small countries and seizing their land. Right? Welcome back to the 19th century. Sorry, no, there's no penicillin.
All right, guys, we got to talk about failing glorified YouTube channel MSNBC, aka MSDNC, aka BSNBC, and their president, Rashida Jones, deciding to step down. Okay, she's deciding to quit before Trump's inauguration. Now, this comes as MSNBC has seen a major decline in the ratings, okay? And it is at the point now where MSNBC, they're losing to CNN, okay? And we're going to read more about how MSNBC continues to be in free fall and how they're making a desperate move in order to save their ratings, okay? But again, MSNBC is in severe decline. And if you want to know why, all you have to do is just watch the network for 2 minutes, okay? Just watch their primetime lineup, any one of these clowns, any one of these lunatics, and you can see why people are turning off the network. Like, for example, Joy Reid, okay, who is running full-blown propaganda for what's happening out in California and not placing any blame or responsibility on Democrats, and also putting out far-left conspiracies about how right-wing billionaires are the cause of the fires, right, according to her, and that they want to buy up all the property in order to transform California into a red state, a state of apartheid and hate and bigotry. This is the grand conspiracy theories being pushed on the network.
Oh, the arrogance of the colonizer's spirit. Of course, none of these people have bothered to thank our neighbors in Mexico and Canada for sending firefighters to face the flames and planes to brave the hurricane-force Santa Ana winds to drop water on the blazes. And God forbid they acknowledge that whatever the initial cause of the fires, they were exacerbated by climate change, which has led to rising temperatures, longer fire seasons, and heightened drought conditions. Although, you know who does acknowledge climate change? The insurance companies that have been canceling policies in California due to the risk of climate change. And the people losing the most in Los Angeles County aren't the rich, faded celebrities like Mr. Woods who can afford to rebuild and to move into one of their other homes while they wait. It's the middle-class homeowners in places like Altadena, where an historic and stable black neighborhood has been all but wiped off the map and ignored by much of the press, while the vulture capitalists are already circling, hoping to snap up the burned up properties for pennies on the dollar so they can hedge fund them into yet another batch of billionaire-owned overpriced rentals. But the worst part, other than the fires themselves, has been the lies. Though if there is one thing the billionaire right is, they are consistent. They want California. America's biggest state economy. Because if they can take California and retrofit it with their ugly right-wing policies, the way they've ruined Florida and Texas and every other red state, where poverty rates are high and education is warped and non-white immigrants, pregnant women, victimized girls, and LGBTQ folks live in fear, then the fight for permanent control of America is basically over. They can drill and frack California till the fires this past week pale in comparison. They can rip out all the forests and hand over the land to developers, Florida style. They can drive out the brown people and the black and Asian people, or just sink them into the same apartheid they've created in Texas. And they will control enough electoral votes, if they control California, to never have to worry about another presidential election. The billionaire right knows that they cannot take California, home to Hollywood, San Francisco, and Kendrick Lamar, by culture. So they're looking to try to take it with lies and deceit and by fire.
Yeah. So what you guys just saw there was Joy Reid pushing a far left conspiracy that right-wing billionaires, okay? Let's just ignore the fact that a vast majority of billionaires are left-wing, okay? They're overwhelmingly liberal and left-wing. But anyways, right-wing billionaires are essentially trying to take over California, okay? And the wildfires are part of a plot from these right-wing billionaires to take over black and brown neighborhoods in California and to make it an apartheid state, right? While also at the same time mining the state of all its materials, stripping all the materials for their benefit, okay? That is what Joy Reid is putting out there, okay? And again, there should be no question in regards to why people are running away from this network. It is a glorified YouTube channel. It's no different than watching, again, the average dude on YouTube, okay? And at this point, the average dude on YouTube is probably more credible than this network, okay? So with that being said, I think it is clear that Trump derangement has backfired, okay? That being Trump deranged 24/7 did not work out for MSNBC in the long term, and that's why you're seeing the network fall apart. Again, the president, Rashida Jones, who made history, by the way, is now stepping down. Rashida Jones is stepping down as president of MSNBC. Jones, who has led the progressive cable news network since 2021, announced her decision to leave in a call with network staff on Tuesday morning, a source told Mediaite. Rebecca Cutler, who left CNN in 2022 and was quickly hired by Jones to serve as senior vice president of content strategy at MSNBC, will be appointed interim president of the network. Cutler has overseen dayside programming and non-linear content, live streaming, digital platforms, films, and podcasts at MSNBC. Media reporter Oliver Darcy reported in December in his status newsletter that Jones was considering an exit after the inauguration of incoming President Donald Trump. Yeah, so apparently she couldn't wait, right? Apparently she had to get the hell out of MSNBC before Trump actually becomes president. Okay, so she's gone. Okay, gone. After an election year that saw MSNBC notch a series of rating successes, including beating CNN for the first time for some major political news events, the network has seriously struggled since Trump beat Vice President Kamala Harris and is mostly liberal audience tuned out in droves. Okay, yeah. So Rashida Jones was the first black executive to lead a major television network. Again, history was made here. And all of a sudden now, it seems as if making history has backfired, right? Because of their Trump derangement, the decision to double and triple down on it has essentially led to the downfall of the network. And now you have the network issuing major pay cuts, including to Rachel Maddow, who apparently they're going to make go back to work, right? They're going to make Rachel Maddow actually work for her money, okay? So they issued a pay cut and they're making her go back to work. We're going to read about that in a little bit. But Joy Reid also apparently was asked to take a pay cut as well, too, okay? She makes about $3 million per year, which is, in my opinion, ridiculous, right? There's nowhere in the world that Joy Reid is actually bringing in $3 million worth of ad revenue or content to that network, right? No way. No way whatsoever. I don't even think Joy Reid is worth $500,000, right? I don't even think she's worth $250,000, to be honest with you, okay? She might not be worth $100,000. Let's be honest. So her getting paid $3 million is crazy to me. But apparently they're asking her to take a pay cut or else she will be fired. Okay, so yeah, with that being said, these people, they're taking pay cuts and MSNBC is making desperate moves in order to save their ratings. MSNBC announced a bold programming shakeup as the liberal news network grapples with plummeting ratings and the departure of key stars. For President-elect Donald Trump's first 100 days in office, primetime anchor Rachel Maddow will host her show 5 nights a week as the network attempts to reclaim its once dominant position in the cable news sphere. The channel has rated a solid third when placed next to rivals CNN and Fox. Yeah, again, this is embarrassing. Remember how CNN, for the most part, was consistently in third place over the last 4 to 8 years when it comes to the ratings? Now that's MSNBC, right? MSNBC has become the new CNN, right? Which is really, really, really bad, okay? And they're saying that they're going to make Rachel Maddow actually work, right? She's going to actually now have to come back to work on top of taking a pay cut in order to save their ratings. And I just don't think this is going to work. I don't think this is going to work. Rachel Maddow is their version of Tucker Carlson, right? The MSNBC version. That's who they usually compare Rachel Maddow to. But even their top conspiracy theorists, I don't think is going to be able to save this network. I really don't, because all she's going to do is double down on the Trump derangement, right? So they're bringing her back to cover Trump's first 100 days so that she can boohoo, whine, and cry and fearmonger about everything that Trump does. And I just don't think it's going to work. I really don't. But hey, this is what they're doing. They're doubling and tripling down on the derangement in order to save themselves. In the 25 to 54 demographic, MSNBC averaged 55,000 viewers in December compared to 114,000 in December 2023, while CNN averaged 69,000 compared to 108,000. Fox News averaged 292,000 compared to 214,000 a year earlier. But execs hope the new schedule might help stem the loss of viewers. The new schedule will see Maddow temporarily hosting her show every weeknight at 9 p.m. The move comes months after the CEO is said to have slashed Maddow's pay by some $5 million after she agreed to stay with the network for another 5 years. She had reportedly been earning $30 million salary for her weekly show, the second highest paid anchor in television news after Sean Hannity at Fox News, who pulls in $45 million. The schedule marks a huge increase in on-air time for Maddow following her reduced schedule of just presenting one night a week each Monday and costing the network about $500,000 an episode. Yeah. So their big plan is to bring Rachel Maddow back, right? She's going to save the network, okay? They got rid of this lady, okay? They kicked her to the curb, okay? I believe she's going to be doing on-the-ground reporting, right? She didn't work out, right? Alex Wagner, nobody wanted to watch her. So we're going to see, right? We're going to see what's going to happen here. But the ratings have been in free fall for some time, okay? And remember, they are spinning off MSNBC into a new entity that's separate from Comcast, and they're going to try to see if MSNBC can sink and swim on their own. Maddow made a decision to scale back in 2021 following the signing of a lucrative contract that allowed her to focus on other ventures, including podcasts and documentaries. The MSNBC top execs hope Trump's return to the White House will reignite viewer interest in left-wing politics. In December, the boss of the media firm that oversees MSNBC said he wanted more Republican voices on the network and to move more opinion content out of primetime, along with cuts to some high-profile presenters' pay. Spinco CEO Mark Lazarus expressed his desire for a new direction as the network looks to shed the perception of liberal bias at MSNBC. Yeah, well, here's the thing. I think that MSNBC, unless there's a complete rebrand of the network, I don't think that this is going to save them. I don't think bringing Rachel Maddow back is going to save them. If anything, Rachel Maddow probably should have been fired, right? Joy Reid should have been fired. All these people should have been fired. Okay, the whole network should have cleaned house, and they should have restructured their network. Go out and hire a Scott Jennings or something, right? Go try to get a Megyn Kelly. That's what they should have did. But no, they're doubling and tripling down on the Trump derangement while also saying, okay, well, we want a few more Republican voices. But you got to understand, the problem with MSNBC is the far left lunatics, okay? You have straight up conspiracy theorists hosting these news shows, okay? And as long as you have that, and you don't have any real balance, this network is going to suffer. So again, the first 100 days of Trump's presidency is going to be do or die for MSNBC, and they know it. Okay, if they cannot recover in Trump's first 100 days, when essentially everybody will be paying attention to what's going on, it is over, right? It is over for that network. 100% is over. It's done. Donezo. Especially considering how they're making Rachel Maddow go back to work, right? So they know they have to go all in. It's do or die. So we're going to see. We're going to see, okay? The next 100 days, we have to see if MSNBC can sink or swim. Can they recover? If they can't recover, it is over. Donezo. Finito. Terminal, right? It's the end for MSDNC. Stick a fork in them. So let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.